Okay, we are now on the part of the notes receivable. Pagdating dito sa notes receivable, ang ating claim against the buyer is supported now with the promissory note. Okay? So, ang promissory note ngayon ay defined as unconditional written. So, mayroon niyang sum of money na nakalagay doon, which is the same way sa invoice din. Okay? Pero ito, mayroon siyang determinable date that is enforceable na kailangan talaga bayaran. At the same time, mayroon talaga itong interest. Pero kung walang interest yung promissory note, it is considered daw na yung interest is nandun pa rin nakapaloob sa promissory note. They call that as imputed interest or implied interest. So by the way, they call this one as time draft. Parang ganon din. So there is a drawer. At the same time, there is a drawee. The drawer is the one who is providing the promissory note with a promise to pay, and the drawee is the one who is receiving or the holder of that promissory note. Okay, so the time drop may be two-party, drop drawers, yun ganon. So pwede three-party. So whatever is the form of that. Well, anyway, technicalities is not our concern in that promissory note. What is our concern in here is the accounting treatment with regard to the promissory note, whether that is interest-bearing, meron ba yung interest, or wala ba yung interest. First is, ang i-deal muna natin is yung with interest. Ang tawag natin dyan is interest-bearing note. Okay. Okay. So, we have to deal with first the initial recognition. Paano ba yung initial recognition? So, ang concern natin is ano ba yung account title na gagamitin. So, we have the notes receivable as with that to be used. At saka, paano ba i-measure yung promissory note at the initial recognition? So, dito, ang sabi dito, ang measurement is una, based sa transaction price. Ang transaction price ay dinidetermine kung una, magkano ba ang ibinigay na cash. And second, kung hindi naman cash ang ibinigay in exchange to the promissory note, kung magkano ba ang fair market value on the non-cash. So, fair value kung ano yung ibinigay na non-cash consideration. Paano kung walang fair market value yung ibinigay? Yung fair market value ng note received ang susundin. Okay. So, again, the cash, ito yung number one. Second is the fair market value of the non-consideration given up. Second, if the given up is not given, then the note received is the basis. So, the fair market value of that. Okay. Now, first is we have to deal with, again, with the interest-bearing note. Paano ba natin yung accounting treatment dito? Okay. Now, for the interest-bearing note, automatically, whatever is the face, whatever is the amount on the face of the note, tapos mayroon siyang interest, will be our gross amount of the note receivable. So, mostly, or most of the time, kung ano yung ibinigay na pera, yun yung talagang malalagay doon sa promissory note with interest-bearing. So, let's stay on in that case muna. So, ngayon, this is our illustration. Okay. Now, let's try to demonstrate isa-isa kung paano ba i-handle yung promissory note with interest. Again, ang tawag natin dyan ay interest-bearing trade notes. So, trade notes ito kasi it is the note was arise from the merchandise sold. Okay? So, di ba, sabi natin kanina, kung yung mga receivables are arising or coming from the sales or as a result of the credit sales in the ordinary course of business, so we call them as trade receivables. So dito, the notes receivable is a trade because it's coming from the merchandise sold. In other words, if we have some notes receivables that are not arising out of this transaction, we cannot consider them as trade receivables. Okay, now let's have this 2026 of ABC Corporation, August 5. Receive a 60-day, 9%. Okay, by the way, in computing the interest, we always use the number of days and our denominator is always 360 day. That is equivalent to the 1 year. The 360 day is the counting for the commercial and banking transactions. So 360 talaga yung pagko-compute nila sa ganito. Okay? So we use that as our denominator. And the counting of the number of days as our numerator will be based on the actual calendar days. So Although we understand that the 360 ay hindi po yun yung kabuuan kasi alam naman natin na 365 yan. But pagdating naman sa numerator, we do not regard sa yung 5 days na ibinawas doon sa 360. We always follow kung ano yung actual na counting. Okay. Okay. Now on, again, naka-receive ng 12,000. Let's go back in here. Promissory note from X for the merchandise sold. Okay, so what's the basic entry for that? Okay, basic entry is here. So, i-debit mo lang yung 12,000, then credit ka sales. Okay, so simple as that. Why we do that at 12,000? It is because the amount that is given up of the goods is amounting 12,000. That's the transaction price. That's the selling price, and that is the market value of the merchandise given up. Okay. On October 5, so what about the 9%? Okay, the 9% interest will come after, later na, after the passage of time. October 4, ka-collected X in settlement of the note dated August 5. So, merong collection. Kinolekta daw yung 12,000. Yung August 4 kasi, yun yung ika-60th day. So, kinolekta niya, of course, with the 9% interest. The 9% interest in here is considered as the annual. So, pag nakakita ka ng interest sa ano, that is good for 1 year yan. Okay. Yun yung ano mo, ilagay mo always sa isip mo na always 1 year yan. So, in other words, kung magko-compute ka kung magkano ba talaga yung interest dito, ganito yung formula mo. So, yung 9%, i-prorate mo yan sa kung magkano yung dito, 60 over 360, then i-multiply mo yan doon sa principal. Okay. So, in here, if we are going to go to jump in here sa ano, another page for the entry, so ganito yung mangyari. Okay, so makikita mo ang notes receivable, since na-collecta na siya, so ilagay mo siya sa credit. So dati siyang naka-debit, so ilagay mo siya sa credit. Then, aside for the principal that you have collected, mayroon kang nakakolekta din na interest revenue. So ito na yung 180. So the problem now, paano ba kinompute yung 180? So as I said, the principal times the interest plus times the per rata. Okay, and we use the 360 as our denominator. So again, we follow with the actual date, with the actual number of days and the duration of the promissory note. Okay, so what happened now on October 10? Now, let's go back to our data. Naka-receive na naman siya ng 30-day, 12%, 16,000 note from Y to settle the overdue account. At this time, this is not a result of our accounts of the sales. However, this is a payment. Instead of giving a cash to settle yung accounts receivable ni Company Y, ang kanyang ibinigay is yung promissory note para bayaran yung accounts receivable. So, if you try to trace, yung notes receivable na ito ay galing pa rin doon sa ating ordinary course of business, which is the sales. Okay? Okay. Now, balikan natin ano yung entry. So, just like as what we did earlier sa August 5, so ganun rin. Na-change lang yung amount to 16,000. Okay. Now, ngayon, pagdating sa November 6, naka-receive na naman again ng 12%. So, from Z, so ganun yung entry. Then, we change the amount, 24,000. Okay. Okay. Now, what happened on November 9? Why dishonored its note on maturity date? In other words, hindi niya binayaran yung note on the maturity date. Si Y. Ang kanyang utang is 16,000 on that promissory note. So, paano ang mangyari? So, ganito niya. Ang entry is, i-reverse niya yung i-reverse niya yung kanyang yung note kanina, 'di ba 16,000 'yon. Instead, i-reverse niya, revert back to accounts receivable. So magiging accounts receivable 'yan. But not anymore at 16,000. Why? Kasi yung 16,000 after maturing the notes ay nagkaanak siya ng interest na amounting 160. And this is the computation. So just like or just the same manner as we did on the first one. Okay. Ngayon, ito namang ikalawa, pagkatapos doon, after na dishonor niya, si November 30, kinolekta na yung amount na galing kay Y. But of course, it's not anymore that amount as what we reverted. Kasi ano yung na-revert natin is 16,000 plus 180. So ngayon, nagkakaroon ng additional charge na 12% of the maturity value. So yun yung sinasabi dito ng problem. Okay? So we just follow kung ano yung sinasabi ng problema if you're going to compute for additional interest. So mangyari dito ito 'yon, 'di ba? Nagiging 16,160 na ngayon ang accounts receivable. And later on after how many days? Let's say 21, I think. So after 21 days, nagkaroon ng kinolekta, binayaran ni Y yung kanyang pagkakautang. However, that amount is no longer 16,160 kasi mayroon na namang dagdag na 113 na interest. Now ngayon, ang tanong is paano ba kinompute yung itong 113.12? Okay. Now, tandaan na kung ano yung principal sa pag-compute ng interest, doon talaga yung magbe-base. So at this time, yung principal natin ay nagiging 16,000 kasi at the time that we revert it back to the accounts receivable, it's no longer 16,000 but we added 160. Kaya nagiging 16,160. So ngayon, pag magko-compute ka ng panibagong interest na naman, after that, this honoring of the notes receivable, we base our principal on the 16,160. So makikita mo yung 16,160 is mayroon na yung interest. Kumbaga, yung interest before ay nagkaanak na naman ng another interest. So ito yung principal, ito yung bagong interest, which is our legal interest, and we have our numerator and we still use the numerator. So always yan, 360 as our denominator. And you have to always count the number of days from the lapse of time. So as I said earlier, 30 minus 9 equals to 21 days. So that's the exclude the first day and include the last day. Yun yung rule dyan. But anyway, simple as that. Ganun lang yun. Okay. So nangyari dito, pagka December 31, what is this? Anong transaction dito? Let's try to go back to revisit our year-end adjustments are made. So, mayroon ba tayong kailangan i-adjust? Yes, kasi mayroon ditong hindi pa na-kolekta, which is the 24,000 coming from Z company. Okay. Okay. Ang kanyang ano kasi is 120 days. So, mag-expire pa ito next year pa. Okay? Kasi kung 120 day, ano yan? Para yung 3 months. Okay. So, at December 31, you need to make adjustment dito. Okay? For the 24,000. So, ang gagawin dito, yung 24,000, 12% times 12% kasi 12% naman yung nakalagay doon sa kanyang promissory note ni Z. Okay, yun. So, you can see that, 12%. Okay, so yun yung kanyang babayaran. Sorry, yun yung i-accrue na interest natin. Make adjustment for that. So how do we get, so again, the denominator is still at 360. But the problem is, how did we count the 555? The 55. As I said, it is based on the actual, the number of days. So, saan tayo magbilang? So, halimbawa, sa November. So, ilang days ba sa November ba yan? Yes, November. So, ilang days ba sa November bago magtapos ang November 30? So, 30 minus 6, that is 24. Dito naman sa December tayo. So, this is for November. Paano sa December? So, December, the whole month is 31 days. So, that's why 24 plus 31 equals to 55 days. So, ganun mag-count. So, that's why 55 yung ginamit dyan. Okay. So, a note must be negotiable. So, yun yung mga dagdag na theories dito ha. Kailangan negotiable siya. Kasi, pwede kasi itong bilhin ng ibang party na pwedeng sila na lang yung mangongolekta doon sa drawer ng notes receivable instead na ikaw. So, mayroon na namang bagong drawee. Okay? Okay. So, anyway, whatever are the rules in that, so, ganun lang yun. Pag halimbawa, pag dishonored, ang gagawin, i-revert back siya sa AR, then yung notes receivable originally, i-reverse mo, then, ang ano na dito is yung principal amount na plus the interest yung nakalagay dito kasi meron ng interest ito after the maturing and not